Hi, I'm Crystal Dawn, and this is the Transparent Communications of Unoya. So, this was an email that was sent to the Government of Australia. It says Steward of the Land Program Introduction. Australia, with its vast landscapes, unique biodiversity, and diverse climate zones, faces challenges such as desertification, deforestation, urban overcrowding, and economic disparity in rural areas. The Steward of the Land program aligns with Australia's priorities by fostering sustainable rural development, restoring degraded ecosystems, and empowering communities. This initiative supports environmental conservation, Indigenous leadership in land stewardship, and economic resilience in alignment with Australia's cultural, social, and environmental values. Program overview. The Steward of the Land program aims to establish self sufficient, sustainable communities across Australia, integrating environmental responsibility, social equity, and economic empowerment. Key components: environmental stewardship, restoration of degraded land, afforestation, soil regeneration, and sustainable agriculture to mitigate desertification and climate change. Community led development, collaboration with Indigenous communities to ensure land stewardship aligns with traditional ecological knowledge. Education and skills training, incorporation of regenerative farming, water conservation, and renewable energy techniques tailored to Australia's unique ecosystems. Public private Indigenous partnership, collaboration among government agencies, private enterprises, and Indigenous leaders to facilitate land access, funding, and policy support. Customizable implementation, strategies tailored to Australia's environmental, economic, and social priorities, addressing specific regional challenges. Education component, education is a core pillar of the program, equipping participants with the skills needed to establish and maintain sustainable communities while deepening their understanding of environmental stewardship and resilience. Training includes Indigenous land management and fire stick farming, sustainable agriculture, permaculture, and water conservation, renewable energy and off grid living, land rehabilitation and wildlife conservation, community leadership and rural economic development, empowering Australia's communities. This program supports sustainable development efforts through economic opportunity creation, offering employment and entrepreneurship opportunities in sustainable industries, support for Indigenous leadership, recognizing and integrating First Nations knowledge in environmental conservation and land governance, reducing urban overcrowding, encouraging sustainable rural communities to alleviate pressure on major cities, strengthening social bonds, promoting cooperation and shared responsibility through community driven initiatives, land allocation and government collaboration. Australia's vast land resources and existing conservation policies present an opportunity for large scale implementation of this program. Key actions include allocating underutilized or degraded land for sustainable communities and land restoration projects, partnering with Indigenous land councils and environmental organizations for land management, expanding land reform initiatives to integrate sustainability and Indigenous led governance, supporting financial models, including grants and incentives for sustainable rural development, collaborating with policymakers to integrate sustainability into Australia's national development agenda. Long term benefits. The Steward of the Land program aligns with Australia's national interests and provides lasting benefits. Environmental and cultural impact, supports reforestation and biodiversity conservation, promotes sustainable land use practices rooted in Indigenous knowledge, enhances climate resilience through soil restoration, water conservation, and carbon sequestration. Economic and social benefits, reduces rural unemployment through sustainable job creation, strengthens food security through localized regenerative agriculture, addresses rural depopulation by revitalizing land-based communities, decreases dependence on government assistance through self-sufficient living models. National and global leadership positions Australia as a leader in sustainable rural development and climate resilience. Aligns with Australia's commitment to the Paris Agreement and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Strengthens international cooperation on environmental restoration and sustainable land use. Implementation and call to action. Government leaders, Indigenous representatives, private sector stakeholders, and environmental organizations must collaborate to bring this vision to life. Tailored communication ensures alignment with diverse interests. For Indigenous leaders, ensuring land governance reflects traditional custodianship principles. For policymakers, showcasing sustainable development as an economic and environmental strategy. For private enterprises, encouraging investment in land restoration and regenerative agriculture. For philanthropic organizations, promoting funding for long-term ecological and social impact. We urge Australian communities to dedicate land and resources to sustainable rural development. Oops, sorry, I'm shaking you. Invest in education and vocational training for environmental leadership. Just you. There you go. Recognize the Steward of the Land program as a national model for economic and ecological resilience. Strengthen partnerships between Indigenous, governmental, and private sectors to drive comprehensive, long-lasting transformation. By adopting this model, Australia can lead the way in sustainable land stewardship, ensuring that every citizen has access to land, education, and the opportunity to contribute to the nation's environmental and social renewal. So, we received a response from them. Says, thank you for your message to the Prime Minister. All items of correspondence are read and carefully considered. However, not all items will receive a response. Looking at the issues you have raised, I would recommend the Department of Climate Change, Energy, the Environment, and Water would be best placed to respond to you. To assist with that, we have referred your correspondence to the Department of Climate Change, Energy, the Environment, and Water for their consideration. Please keep in mind that your correspondence might need input from multiple government departments or agencies, and this could take time to compile for you. You can contact the Department of Climate Change, Energy, the Environment, and Water regarding the progress of your correspondence by visiting their Contact Us page. Thank you for your correspondence to the Honorable Anthony Albanese, Prime Minister. The Prime Minister appreciates you taking the time to write him. So that was really nice. Yeah, we don't expect anything to happen overnight. Naturally, a global collaboration of this sort that literally changes the world will take time. So we're just going to keep sending emails and corresponding with people and trying to spread some good stuff, because one day the world will unite for the right purpose of trying to help all people help the planet. All we need as living organisms is food, water, shelter, and space. Everything else is just beautiful fluff. So let's try to get the basic necessities to all of humanity. Thank you.